Utah's best coverage of the Utes, Cougars, Jazz, and Mammoth. Here we go. From the guys who have been there for all the biggest moments in Utah sports history. You're listening to DJ and PK on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
DJ PK, and we are joined now by Jake Scott. You'll hear him 2 o'clock this afternoon right here on the Zone when his show gets going. Jake, good morning. What is wrong with you?
Yeah, that's the stupidest guest you've ever had on the air. It's a real pleasure to be here. You guys make it a habit of insulting guests right before you have
we
them
do
on
this.
the air?
No, we do this special for you.
I know. I heard you yesterday, too. So, hey, I know an ambush when I see one. I like Virtual Cole and Appaloosa. No. I'm happy to be here.
No,
good to talk to you both.
That is an oxymoron. If you see it, it's not an ambush. Those two things, that's a logical, it's illogical. It doesn't work. I'm sorry. You have to retract
I think I'm
that.
okay with it, though.
Wow, great point, DJ.
All right, so you got into, here we go. Put the gloves on.
Yeah, that was a little dripping right there.
Yeah. Jake is the most. Jake is the
I was
most.
called stupid.
Jake is the most negative, positive person I know. You are seriously, Jake. You are positive. You are upbeat. You are fun. You're quick to laugh. You have an engaging laugh. We just heard it right there. But at the same time, the cynicism, the cynical nature. I was listening one day to you and Ben, and I can't remember what it was. And I was in my car, and all the other stations were broken. Ben even said something. I can't remember what it was. He said, "I want to give so and so the benefit of the doubt," and right away you're like, "Nope, they did it." And he imitated your voice, and it was spot on. And you're like, "Yeah, I knew it. They were bad. I don't even remember what it was. It's somebody screwed up in the world of sports. I think it was a national story. I don't even think it was local. But it was just, and I was like, yes, because, and you did it at the media days. You did it. You had on the, you guys did a really good interview with the guy who runs the college football playoff.
Yeah,
the executive director. And it was your turn to ask a question, and you just the shortest question. And he was talking about who has influence and 12, 16, 24 teams. What are they going to do? What are all the things they're weighing? And you're like, yeah, but what about the media partners? The shortest question is like, they have the money, they call the shots. Stop wasting my time.
I only got a couple of questions for that, dude. I had to hit him with it. And by the way, that Ben thing, he was talking about Diana Rossini. And who turned out right on that one?
Yes, that is what it is. You're right. That is what it is.
You know what, DJ? You guys, I've known you both for, 20 whatever years it is now. And when you first met me, I was, I still consider myself at times optimistic. But, I was optimistic. And then, of course, I listened to DJ and PK for 20 years, and I can't help but get beaten down by life.
Yeah, there it is.
It just turned into a cynical realist is what I like to call it. Yeah.
My work here is done.
But you know what? PK and I had it out on the air, and you know what we did? We walked back to the hotel, and then we went to dinner and had a bunch of laughs. It's I love you guys. You know it, even though you invite me on to try and go out. But that's cool. I'm here for it.
I just want to know why you're so wrong about this. That's all I want to know.
First of all, I love how arguments are characterized when one person isn't there.
That might be true. I've had that happen. So here's the deal. For people just join us, because we all know what we're talking about, and everyone else, you and PK are the star, and PK hasn't been able to pick on me for 2 days, so he decides, hey, there's Jake. I'm going to get into it with him. Donovan Mitchell, but it turns out, if PK characterized it correctly, I'm 100% with PK on this.
He thought it was a bad contract. They shouldn't have done it.
You think Cleveland shouldn't have re-signed Donovan Mitchell. PK thinks they should. I think they should. I think they had to. I don't understand how they could not sign Donovan Mitchell. The beating they would take would make what Boston is getting for not signing Jaylen Brown look like nothing.
Yeah.
It looked like a water fight. It looked like nothing.
That's a fair assessment, right, Jake?
Yeah, PK had some nonsense about fans and what the fans
Well, that's what he's saying, the beating. He just said that. Competing.
Okay.
Yeah, but the fans are money.
Right.
I get it. It's fans, and you can't have fans run your organization, but you can't have season ticket holders dropping their tickets. And more importantly, you can't have, there it is, the fans who are sponsors of multi-million deals. Like, why are we sinking millions into this team? They were just in the conference finals. Now they're going to slip back into the middle of a mediocre East, which is, I think, what would happen if they didn't have Donovan. And I think, having watched a lot of basketball with you, I think I know why you don't want to give Donovan the money. And I get it, and I would think many of those things right before I gave him all the money. And the out for people like you is sign and trade. You can't not sign him. Now, if you can sign him and trade him, you can get a lot back. If you look at Donovan and say he's too small, he doesn't want to defend some of the time, most of the time, all of the time. And even when he does, if he does want to defend, they switch bigger guys and he's got to try to defend some dude who's 6 or 8 inches taller than him. And that's like not how you build a champion. You want to make a trade? Okay, fine. But you can't give him away for 30 cents on the dollar, and you can't let him walk the way Gordon Hayward did because, honestly, sponsors are gone. People in luxury suites are gone. Cleveland has the NFL. Cleveland has Major League Baseball. Cleveland has Ohio State 2 hours down the road, and if you live down the road a little bit, maybe they're only an hour and a half away. So they got to stay relevant. They can't let him walk. I mean, that guy's he's a bucket getter, and you were just in the conference finals with him as your leading scorer. You got to re-up him.
Okay. Well, great characterization of why Donovan's flawed and the situation. Okay, so let me tell you guys a parable, and I always screw this up, but I think you'd like it. So if I'm telling it wrong, whatever. But so Jesus and Moses were playing golf. Okay, they're out there playing golf, and Moses hits his drive, and it goes a little bit into the rough, And so what Moses does
6'10", yeah, what do you expect?
Moses parts the nearby lake, flooding the course, floating Moses' ball up to the cup, and dropping it in for a hole-in-one. Mm-hmm. Jesus looks over at Moses and says, "Hey, are we here to fart around or are we here to play golf? What is the point? What is the point? Is the point to win a championship and to be the best basketball team in the NBA, or is the point to fart around with a bunch of sponsors? The point is to win. And the point I'm making is that you're not going to win supermaxing Donovan Mitchell. David, it's the contract. It's how big the contract is to the wrong player. I think they should trade him now, let alone extend him. I think they should flip him now. He's not going to get him where they want to go based on all the stuff you just said. Yep. And right now they're in the middle of making a bunch of terrible decisions because they're going to re-up James Harden, and maybe we'll see LeBron sign a minimum deal there, and it's a bad fit, and it's not going anywhere. And once in the NBA, listen, I know PK loves his Dodgers with all his heart, but this is not Major League Baseball. You can't just buy everything. You have to spend your money correctly. This is true in the NBA. This is true in the NFL. So, the Patriots in the NFL got a bunch of pushback for not re-signing a bunch of aging, very popular players. They let guys like Wes Welker go because it was not popular with the fans. I'm sure the beloved sponsors were saying, "Oh, I love Wes Welker." What the Patriots did was they paid the right people and they had the right superstar. Now, again, for all the reasons you're laid out, David James, so eloquently, Donovan Mitchell is not the right superstar. And what have, honestly, the entire league, the Jazz, forever, what are they trying to find? The right superstar and the right way to build around that superstar, period. What are the Lakers, PK's beloved Lakers, what are they doing? They're trying to build around the right superstar. And if you're talking about Supermax, you're talking about 35% of the cap. You're talking about a crazy amount of money and restricting all of your flexibility. So is that player good enough? The answer is no. So you can talk about Quicken loans and putting people in suites, but what's the point? What is the point of what we're talking about? Because I don't care in the slightest about Cleveland Cavalier fans or their sponsors. I'm talking about what is the smart thing for the franchise to do.
Does Donovan Mitchell make their team better or worse? If he leaves, is the team better?
In what term? I mean,
Wins and
now,
losses.
10 years from now, 5 years from now? I mean, who cares about that? The idea
now, next
is
season.
to win. Hey, PK, the NBA is long-term, man. You got
okay, 5 seasons from now.
I disagree. The NBA has never been more short-term. I mean, we're seeing
That's
teams
true.
go from the
But
lottery to champion in 3 years, and we're seeing champions getting knocked out in the first round the very next year. Or the second round, the very next year. I mean, no one can go back-to-back for almost a decade now. Not quite.
Yeah, well, you know
or
what?
even win
The
multiple,
Lakers
not back-to-back, just win multiple.
The Lakers had LeBron for 8 years, and they sucked for the majority of that 8 years.
But they won. But they won one title in 8 years, and nobody won 2 in 8 years. Nobody won 2 in 8 years.
I don't count the Mickey Mouse title. Okay. I mean, that's just garbage. In the bubble after 3 months rest, you have a team full of geezers. You take 3 months off.
So they would have been better if they didn't have LeBron James.
Better win.
When they didn't have, when LeBron was there. If take LeBron off, LeBron signed at I think it was 33 years old. Yeah. So they would have been better off not signing LeBron.
If you want to call Donovan Mitchell, LeBron James.
No, you brought up the Lakers, not us.
And put them in the same conversation as the same type of player.
No, I'm asking with the Lakers. I didn't mention anything about Donovan. Would the Lakers have been better if they didn't sign Donovan or LeBron James?
They had, so let's say LeBron's the right star at the right price. And I'm not a LeBron guy, but I'll listen to it. Yeah, that's fine. He's one of the greatest ever. Sure. Mm-hmm. You have the right star at the right price. But what do you do around that? Well, LeBron spent money on people like Russell Westbrook that took away all their flexibility, and then they traded all of their picks, and then they couldn't get over the hump because they paid the wrong people, and they didn't have the flexibility, and they didn't think.
Yeah, but that's the nature of every team.
They thought all year to year. Well, you know what? There's a lot of bad teams.
Yeah.
As the great Steve-On Smith Sr. once told me, there's a lot of dumb GMs out there.
Sure.
And there's a reason that all these franchises suck all the time because they're horribly run. And so the point is,
who's well run?
Well, the Spurs historically have been pretty well run.
Yeah, and they're going to come up on it in a couple years too. They're going to have to get rid of guys because they're going to give max contracts. You don't want to give max contracts to maybe 2 or 3 players in the league?
Supermax, yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. And you know what? Donovan ain't one of them. So why would you do it?
Because you make your team worse without him.
I think in this era. In the
short term, bro.
Whatever term.
We have the tech to get food delivered in 15 minutes, but we all have horror stories about buying tickets. The Game Time app gives fans the advantage. Get amazing tickets in just a few taps. Fees are included, so what you see is what you pay. And the Game Time guarantee means authentic tickets at the best price every time. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets to concerts, sports, comedy, and more with Game Time. Download the Game Time app and create an account for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply.
In this era, I think that I've always said historically there's only 2 or 3 teams going into the season. I'd take 2 or 3 teams and I'll give you the field and I'll win most of the time. But in this era, it's branched out to 6 or 8. I think the Knicks, the current champs, are a great example. Do I think they're an awesome, legendary team? No. I think what you have to do is get into the top 6 or 8 teams and hope things break your way. They were in the easier conference. They had the easier path. They played great basketball and they stayed healthy and they caught some breaks and they cashed in. And that's what Cleveland's got to do. They've got to find some people who are cheap. To your point, he's getting an enormous percentage of the salary cap. So they got to get people on the cheap. And whether that's draft picks or role guys who fit exactly the right role.
The Knicks got lucky. They beat a crappy Cleveland team whose best player is Donovan Mitchell, who obviously, by Jake Scott's acknowledgement, is highly overrated. And then they got Wemby when he's 22 years old.
Well said about the Cavs. That's
they were super. I think the Knicks
championship doesn't really count.
It does count.
Hey,
They all count. They all count. And I get why people want to rain on the Mickey Mouse title in Orlando, but if the Jazz had won it, nobody would ever say that here. Whoever won it was going to think, that was awesome. And everybody else is going to go, Phil was right. That's not a real title. I mean, that's how that always works.
Well, it's not a real title, and that's fine. I don't know what would have happened if the Jazz would have won. Probably cynical me would have said the same thing.
Yeah. Is Joe Gibbs an NFL coaching legend? Yes or no?
Well,
just wait for
I'd say more of a NASCAR legend, right?
You're right, and NASCAR's a great second chapter. But everyone would say yes, he's an NFL legend. And you know what he did? He won his first 2 Super Bowls in years that one year I think they played 8 games because of labor problems. Another year, they used the scabs, the backups, the rejects, whoever was available for 3 games and counted them and still didn't play a full schedule. And he won that year, and nobody cares in the long run. He's Joe Gibbs. He's a legend. Nobody cares about that.
Oh, awesome, David. Keep going. You're good at this game.
Donovan Mitchell makes the Cavs better. Without Donovan Mitchell, he makes the team worse.
Yep. Okay. It depends on what you can get for him and what you can do with that. I mean, it's moving the pieces around the board.
But who are you going to get for him that's going to make you better?
I don't know. PK, you once clowned me for suggesting the Jazz trade for George Hill. You remember that? I got dragged up and down the radio for forever.
I don't remember that either.
6 months later, they traded for George Hill.
And
George
why?
Hill
He didn't win him anything. What a waste!
So let's go down the trade tracker. What they did for Donovan Mitchell.
I think you have
they some better than Paul George.
I think you've done a good job for taking. You've done a job. Actually, PK should applaud you off the air. I think you have the weaker argument here, Jake.
I bought him dinner.
You're on the road. You're getting it reimbursed. You've got the weaker argument, but you've gone with a strong point that he gets too big a percentage of the cap for what he provides on the floor.
They all do.
That's exactly it. So what becomes a winner in the NBA, what Austin Ainge and everybody over the Jazz has to do, just as the other 29 teams, you're going to overpay your best player, and I think it's easy to argue the Jazz have 2 players that are overpaid. We can argue 5, 10, 15 million bucks, whatever it is. So you've got to have players who are outperforming their number also, right?
Yeah. Well,
part of the Knicks thing is Jalen Brunson took less money and he outperformed his number. Now, I could argue that Cat did not outperform his number, but they had to pay it because they had to have what Towns provided. They had to have it, and they got it, and they won. And so, did they overpay Towns? Yeah, I think they probably did. But they were able to underpay Brunson. Now, when Brunson wants to be paid next time, I think they're going to be in trouble. But they're going to have to pay it, and they're going to have to find other guys on the roster who outperform their number, and that's why everybody wants a rookie, someone on a rookie deal, because those numbers could be outperformed. They tend to be lower numbers. And the Spurs had guys outperforming their numbers. And so look where they got there. But the Knicks are lucky the Spurs took down the Thunder because the Knicks have a history of not being able to beat the Thunder.
And the Thunder
so you need a break.
2 starters.
And the Thunder, absolutely. The Thunder lost a starter and a key role player. And in a 7-game series, that's just enough for the Spurs to squeak by, which is what the Knicks needed. But I think that's how you win going forward. The thought that you're going to put together a dominant team, pay everybody, and win 2 in a row or 2 in 3 years or 3 and 4 or whatever, what the Warriors and the Spurs and the Lakers have done in the last 25 years. I think these salary cap rules make that hard, so everybody is going to have to overpay somebody and then get a little lucky. I think that's what the last 8 years have been. How else did Toronto win it? They got a little lucky. The Warriors had injuries, and Toronto got one. Good for them.
Yeah, and in the Lakers' case, it took a pandemic and shut it down for 3 months and no travel.
I thought Denver.
The Bucks threatening to leave.
Yep.
Massive protests. That's what it took to get LeBron a title in LA.
I thought Denver had it set up to win multiple, and they've had to pull it apart because of money.
Well, they paid the wrong guy. That's my point. They paid.
But who was the right guy?
Now in Brooklyn, who
was the right guy?
You know what? Hey, don't fall in love with your own guy. That's cost the Jazz in the past. I brought this up with PK. They fell in love with Larry. Fell in love with Andre Karolinko. They maxed him out. It topped out that team before it even got started. You don't get your arm twisted by the dang sponsors. I can't believe you guys are so concerned about Cleveland's sponsorship team.
Because
it's not your money. I can see why you'd roll that off.
I know. I think all these general managers are sitting there with the owner breathing down their neck, and I think it's in every salary cap league. And
and the best general managers ignore that stuff and make the best moves for the basketball team. That's what the best GMs do. So
it takes the owner. It takes the owner that the Warriors had to say, "I'm going to pay that. I'm just going to pay
GMs?
The guy was the owner.
He'll go Sam Presti, and Sam Presti is going to already max deal to Chet Holmgren. It's what they do.
And Sam Presti traded hard because the owner made him, and he broke the last group up before they got going because the money matters, and that's what the owners want.
And don't add the rookie max extension and a super max contract for a veteran are not the same thing. Yeah, they're going to pay the price for that Holmgren contract. I totally agree. And Sam Presti ain't perfect. But people hear max and think it's all the same. It is not. A rookie max extension and a super max contract are not the same
right, but they're
thing.
all the same in terms of then when it comes available, then you get the steps you go through and how many guys got the rookie max, then follow it up with
the super max.
Yeah, I mean, it's just you got to get there first.
Right, and they will get there and they will pay it.
That's totally beside the point. Yes, I know the process. Thank you. But like of what financial flexibility it leaves you and makes it a bigger or not so big mistake.
Right, and then let's wait until Holmgren is ready, and then that is the point. And all these guys who get the super max or even the rookie max, they're way overinflated. But that's the system that sets up. That's the what.
The rookie max, you're paying on potential. Super max, you better be paying a player that's going to get you there.
Yeah, but
the thing is,
no guarantee in this.
But now we're back where we started with Boston because those two guys in Boston have done it. Well, they're not in Boston together anymore. But Tatum and Brown did it. They won the title. And not only that, they made another final, and they were in conference finals a bunch of times. I mean, they made that ownership group, which is now sold, a ton of money. But there's really no way out here. And I think that's part of the reason the Celtics sold. Let's sell high. The only way forward is backwards. It's horrific. We don't want to do it. So they sold. And now the new owners, and to your point, to pay two guys that much money and to pay them, what was it going to be, like 70 or 75% of the cap or something? They're not going to be able to put a team around him. So now the Celtics are getting annihilated for trading Brown, but they had to.
They better get you the title. So the Lakers made a bad decision in signing the guy who many people believe is the GOAT, but he didn't get him a title that counted.
No, again, you're not following. He could have been the right superstar. They paid the wrong guys around him, and they got rid of all their flexibility because they thought nothing but short-term. Nothing but short-term bad moves, which the Jazz, by the way, benefited from multiple times because a desperate team was desperate to please LeBron and made a bunch of stupid errors.
So funny, actually.
You got to have the right superstar, and you got to put the right right people around.
I wish we all had crystal balls then, because then it would be so easy to figure that out then, but it's not.
That's why this is hard. That's why the NBA is hard.
No,
that's why they make millions of dollars.
It's not.
That's
it's impossible. We're grading front offices against a standard that's no longer possible because of the way the collective bargaining agreement is written. If 0 people can win 2 titles in 8 years and 8 different people win 1, and then we dismiss each of the 8 for being lucky or being stupid for not winning 2, maybe it's just flat out impossible, and you got to reset the standard because the rules now are different than the rules when the Spurs won 5 or when the Lakers won 3 in a row. The contracts are shorter, and the possibility to pay a player a lot of money is much bigger. And that can put a roster out of whack and make it really hard to / impossible to win a second title. So if we just dismiss one as luck and that's all you can have, then everybody's idiots. Well, I don't think everybody suddenly became idiots.
Well, prayers up for Cleveland sponsorship team. I hope everything goes well for them.
Well, at least if you don't win at all, make money, huh? Sounds pretty good to me.
And have fun along the way.
I hope they succeed. Their bottom line looks good. It's my number one worry in life.
Just like the Jazz. They didn't win anything. What the hell did they sign Malone for? They didn't win anything.
And the Stockton guy, too, for that matter.
Yeah.
And why'd they trade for Hornacek? What was the point?
Trying to win.
Right.
Didn't get there trying to win.
Yep. Well, that's what Cleveland's doing. And I'm with you. I wouldn't pick them to win either. But guess what? I didn't pick the Knicks either. I'm accepting that it looks different here. And it's looked different for about 8 years now. It's a new trend, and we need to catch on to it. All right, Jake.
Good times. We'll see how it goes for him.
Jake, I hope we got you wherever you were going.
Way.
Wait, what?
You're a good sport either way.
Oh, no, I love coming on with you guys. I love you guys. It was the worst 2 years of my life producing your show.
Wait, that doesn't line up. Alex is in there. What am I getting into?
In this community, you're supposed to say it's the best 2 years of your life.
Oh, man, no. It had nothing to do with you two guys. It had everything to do with, 23 right out of college, getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning with 3 roommates that weren't going to bed until 4 o'clock in the morning. It wasn't ideal.
Nice. All right, Jake, we'll hear you today at 2 o'clock right here on The Zone. Thank you.
All right. See you, fellas.
All right, there's Jake Scott. He'd be a tough boss, man. He'd be drawing a line in the sand. His sponsorship team would be sitting over there going, no
max for you.
Don't do it,
Donovan's not going to lead you to a title, but what are they going to do?
I know. They're stuck. I mean, I think the way out is now you've got to find inexpensive talent that fills the gaps as best as possible. And that's the real art. And everybody who's winning has those guys who are outperforming their contract. And the guy who's not going to outperform his contract is the star. All right, DJ PK, when we come back, we're giving away a Lush flag blanket from Minky Couture, celebrating America's 250th birthday. We'll do that next and get you caught up on everything you missed in this show. Stay with us.